Hey guys, Cootee here, and today I'm bringing you a Dark Souls 3 Let's Play. I've been wanting to do it for a while. It's one of my favorite games, and the series itself is amazing. I think 3 is the best. 1 will always hold a dear place in my heart. I'm in the middle of playing 2, and it's a game, I'll say that, but let's just hop right into it.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Alright, and now we get into creating our character. So I already have the preset, let's see, the preset already made, because I would spend forever. This is the look I am going to be choosing for this Let's Play. Character creation is always my favorite part of a game. Let's see, let's name him, let's see, let's just, no. We're gonna name him Jim Bob. We'll go with that. Looks like a Jim Bob. So now we have to pick our class, and each class comes with a different set of items and stats. So we have the Knight. It's gonna be a little balanced all around. It's got high vitality, which means it can have more armor, more equip load, which it isn't that great. It's got alright vigor, strength and dexterity is balanced, and it has a little on the low side of intelligence and faith. You don't really have to worry about luck. The main things you want to be looking for is vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity as a knight. Mercenary it's basically a very, very high dex, because it uses a dex weapon. It uses some sort of curved sword and some shield, and I've never played as a mercenary. I've never really been into the curve swords, but I think I may choose a curve sword, but I don't think I'm going to pick this class. We have the warrior, which really high vigor, really good endurance, good strength, just low dexterity. We have the herald, has high vigor, alright endurance. It's got good strength and a very decent dexterity. Thief is more dexterity, less strength. It's just more attacking really quick. You really want dex weapons if you're going to use like daggers, katanas, curve swords, stuff like that. The assassin is all around just a great starting class because it's just, look at the stats. It's all kind of balanced in there. It's got good dexterity. It's just good in everything except for like the attunement is kind of eh. You don't really need that as an assassin. Now sorcerers, you're going to be casting spells. What you start off with is a dagger and a catalyst. You also have a shield and I think that's a bellowing dragon crest ring that increases your magic damage. You have a really good intelligence, but you kind of actually, no wait, no, you don't want faith for sorcery. So sorcery, you start off with 2 really good spells that are phenomenal. You start off with Soul Arrow and Great Soul Arrow. And sorcerer is, I would recommend not choosing the next couple classes if this is your first time playing Dark Souls. You kind of want to choose something where you use weapons and get a feel for the game. Sorcerer, Pyromancy, Cleric, and Deprived are for like later playthroughs. Pyromancy, you start off with a axe that actually does a decent amount of damage, a shield, and a Pyromancy glove. And I actually don't know that ring. I've never picked Pyromancy. It's balanced in intelligence and faith. Has decent attunement, vigor and endurance. And pyromancies, they basically just throw fire, and that is basically how you're going to be doing damage. It's a pretty good class, I think. I've actually never played a pyromancer. I do want to one day in this game. I've actually never played pyromancer in any Dark Souls. And cleric has insanely high faith. Low intelligence is the problem, and alright strength. Really high attunement and okay vigor. Cleric is, you're going to be using faith-based spells which will heal you and do lightning damage. And Cleric, if you want to basically go a faith build, you would still choose Pyromancy because faith also scales off intelligence. So having a balance 14-14 is pretty good for starting off, and you have a damaging spell. Now, let's see. Deprived, you don't want to do this on your first playthrough, and it's just, as you can see, all balanced, so you can choose how you want to build your character, but it's not that great. Starts off with a very powerful weapon, at least, and a very bad shield, but you have no armor, and that is bad. And of course, when I start recording, my dog starts to bark. So, let's see, I want some good strength and good dexterity, so I'm probably going to have to start off with the Mercy. Let's see. Vigor is alright. I don't need the attunement, that's the thing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Herald. And now we get to pick our burial gift. So basically, Life Ring gives you about, I think, 100 HP. It's an alright. It's good if you're just starting the game. Divine Blessing. Hitting blessings, don't worry about that. You probably shouldn't use them. Black Fire Bombs are, if you're a veteran Dark Souls player and you just want to like blast through the game, this is a good way to kill the first boss very quickly, and just they're pretty good bombs, I'll say that. Fire Gem, I actually think I'm gonna pick this one, but I'm gonna go over the other things just because I don't think I'm gonna be using the starting weapon for too long. Then we have a Sovereignless Soul that gives us souls, and the way souls work is that is our experience and currency. So you use souls to level up and you use souls to buy things. And if you die, you lose them, but you have one chance to recover it by running back and picking up your souls. But if you die on your way to getting your souls, they're gone forever. Rusted Gold Coin, Cracked Red Eye Orb, and Young White Branch. No, they're mainly for that. No. And these two are for PvP, kind of. This isn't even PvP. It just makes you an object. But people use it to hide, and that lets you invade people. The way invasions work is you go into other people's worlds who are embered and you can kill them. And I'll get into embered later. So I'm going to pick the Fire Gem, and let's go with Jim Bob. I got a squeaky chair, I'm sorry. Hopefully it doesn't squeak too much. I'll try and sit where it doesn't squeak. Cemetery of Ash, starting area of Dark Souls 3. So I'm gonna just go over how the movement works. Dark Souls is a very unique game. To run, you just hold B or circle. I'm playing on not PlayStation, PC, but I'm playing on a PlayStation 4 controller. So if you hold B, you run, and you see that drains your stamina bar. You can block with LB or L1. You can parry with L2, which I'll get into parrying in a little bit. Attacking your light attack with R1, and if you hit R2, that's your strong attack. And you can hold R2 to get an even stronger attack. If you tap Y, you can two-hand your weapon, and let's see, actually, I want to see. Alright, so this has a D strength requirement. So if you look in the middle, you see I have a D and C. That is how well my weapon scales. E is the worst, and D, I think D you scale like 20%, C, B, A, all the way up to S. There's only a couple S scaling weapons in the game. So if you two-hand a weapon, you get 1.5 times bonus on your strength scaling. Tap Y again to go back to one-handing. Holding Y, you will two-hand your left-hand weapon, so the shield, and you get 2 different movesets with your shield. And if you hit forward and light kick, forward and light attack, you do a kick, and that pushes an enemy away, and that can actually allow you to parry some enemies if they have no stamina or they're blocking. It's great if an enemy's constantly blocking, you kick them and it pushes their shield down. The way combat works in this game is you kind of don't want to take damage, and the way you can is by blocking with certain shields. You will just not take any damage. I'll get into that in a second. But the number one way you don't want to take damage is by dodging and rolling and just not getting hit. So rolling is if you hold a direction and hit B. While you're rolling, you have certain invincibility frames based on how much your equip load is. It goes by, I think, 10%, 25%, 50%, and after 70%. 70% you will be doing a fat roll where you basically can't roll. And if you reach 100% equip load, you physically can't roll. You won't drop to the ground. There's benefits to each of these. 10%, you have longer, you roll farther, and you have more invincibility frames. 25% is the average, and that's just average rolling frames. And you can see your equip load by, if you look in the middle, it's above poise. So the way percentages work is 30 over 52. So I'm about over 25%. So I'm in between 25 and 50. So I'm going to be rolling for 25%. Poise, poise is a very complex system. It didn't work for the longest time until this current patch with DLC. Basically, the more armor you have, the more attacks you can tank. And before, poise just actually didn't work, and it was kind of a useless system. Item discovery, don't worry about it. Whew. And if you see on the left, you see souls. I have 0, and required souls, which is to level up, 811. So let's go to my equipment. And why do I have a talisman? What the heck? I don't need that. I'm going to de-equip that. So you see my shield. I have a durability of 80. Durability, don't worry, but you see stability 47. So that is going to block 47% of physical damage I take when I block. So now that I explained all this insane amount of detail, let's start the game. Whew. Oh, on the ground you see these orange soapstones that just, this is the little tutorial area, but people can actually place soapstones. And here's an enemy. Ooh. Okay, so our attack is very slow. Not used to spears. I actually have never used a spear other than in Dark Souls 1 Dragon Slayer spear. Our R2 does 142 or 144 fully charged. Not that great a weapon, or not that great at the moment. Let's see. So we're gonna run. Actually, I don't know how much my damage does. Wait a minute. Do I see an item? No, I do not. That's just sunlight. So the way your stamina bar actually works is when your stamina bar completely depletes, you can't do anything until the bar's 100%. So optimal stamina usage is if you just basically stop running right before you empty it, let it gain to about all the way full, and then run before it's full, just so you constantly use your stamina. And this is a bonfire. This restores your health, and if you die, you go to your last bonfire you rested at. So I'm gonna rest here and just get health. And it also, as you see, I have two flasks. I have an Estus flask and an Ashen Estus flask. The Estus flask restores health, and the Ashen Estus flask restores FP, which it only matters. Oh, actually, if you hold L2 while two-handing a weapon, you perform a weapon art, which drains my FP, the blue bar. FP is mainly used on magic, faith, and pyromancy, and that basically goes over the FP usage. Each weapon has different weapon arts, and if we come over here, you can get a Titanite chart. And you saw I jumped by holding B, and I pushed in B or circle, and I pushed in the left thumbstick. So RB while plunging, or while falling with a plunging attack, and you do extra damage for plunging. I'll just kill these enemies. Oh, there's none over there. Okay. 1, 2. And in here is the boss arena to the first boss. So actually, I'm going to two-hand this weapon just because this boss I don't think I'm going to do too great one-handed. So two-handing, you actually do use extra stamina. So while I pull out the sword, I'm just going to attack him. 1, 2. This is Eodex Gundyr, the first boss of the game. Woo! So I want to roll around him. Ow. I'm gonna heal up. I probably shouldn't have healed up at that low where that I'm killing. You can actually parry this guy, which I will try to do here. Oh! Parry is a timed block. I'm gonna try it one more time. Okay, that didn't work. And I'm gonna try and go around him. I'm just gonna try and kill him. So now he should be going into phase 2 very soon. Yep, this is phase 2. Some sort of monster has taken over Eodex. And this gives him a different moveset. And this phase, he's actually very weak to fire. Ow. Okay. So I'm gonna roll away. Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna try and finish him off real quick. There we go. That's Eodex Gundyr, the first boss. So that is a very I guess easy first boss compared to other bosses in the Dark Souls franchise. And you get souls by killing enemies, and bosses give you a larger amount. So now let's continue on and open up this door. So when you parry someone, you actually get to, you put them in a stance where you can then repose them, or riposte, I don't know how the word actually is, and you get to do a critical amount of damage, and I think it's like 200%. And if you actually do a large amount of damage quick enough, you can stagger an enemy, and you get to repose them as well with some bosses when they're staggered, and you do extra damage if you don't repose them, and some bosses it's actually better not to repose them. Come on, I'm gonna just, Yep. Let's head into what is known as the Firelink Shrine. This is the overworld of the whole game. And over here we have the Firekeeper.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I'm a firekeeper. I tend to the flame and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
Alright, and what we can do with her is level up our character.
Very
And
well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
so... let's see. So right now we have a dex weapon. I think I'm gonna level up my dex. Yeah, that seems about fine for now. I'm gonna level it up to 14.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the flames guide thee.
And over here, we have the merchant.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
Alright, and we have a large amount of items we can actually purchase from this lady. I recommend buying a dagger for later on in the game, a torch if this is your first playthrough, and it's just a good item in general. I'm gonna buy a firebomb, so I'm gonna show you what you can actually do with that. And you can buy embers. And as you see, after we beat our first boss, we actually got embered. And what that does is it increases our total or max health by a large percent. I actually don't know. And it allows you to be invaded by other players though, but you can also summon other players. Now over here, you can see we have a blacksmith. And if you played Dark Souls 1, you remember this guy.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith, such is my purpose.
Alright, so as you saw earlier, I picked up a Titanite shard and used Titanite shards or other materials to upgrade weapons. And actually I'm going to allot my Estus because I don't need the Ashen Estus flask. Repair and equipment, I honestly don't know if you'll ever use that. And you can infuse the weapon, which I am going to... Ooh, I need 1450 souls to infuse it. I'll get that in a little bit.
Prithee, be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
So, we have one more person to talk to, and then we're not done with this area, actually. Actually, I'm going to place the weapon, or the item we got from the boss, into the kiln, and this allows us to teleport all throughout the overworld, or throughout all of this game, and it also serves as a bonfire, and gives us a little bit of extra things, like we can burn undead bone shards, which I'll explain that later. If you have spells, you can attune spells. Actually, ooh, really? So that's why. Like, I didn't realize I had a Healy. That's, And we have this character over here.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots. Don't you think?
So that man has given up all hope at the moment. And now, I'm going to show you something very, very useful. So you're going to come up here. First of all, we're going to grab this soul. Soul of Deserted Corpse. It's not much, but it'll do. I'm going to use it. Just give us 200. And you see there's an item on that roof. Well, the way you would normally get up there is by purchasing a key for 20,000, but we don't have 20,000. So we're going to do this the ghetto way. We're going to run up this tree, and it's going to take a bit, but once you get the right timing and spot, you can run up, it's going to be a bit, and jump up on this roof. Whoa. Normally I do it like this, but I see the speedrunners do it like that. And this allows us to actually, gives us, come on. It gives us opportunities to grab more stuff. Oh, was that not it? Really? Come on. Just failing at this point. Oh my god. It's basically, you want to get up like that earlier. There we go. So now we're up on the roof, and we're going to get some pretty useful items. A Homeward Bone. That takes you to the last bonfire you rested at. But what's better is in this area right over here. We're going to come in here, and we get a lot of useful stuff.
Me, pickled pea. Me, bumperum.
So there's supposedly a bird above us, and if you remember from Dark Souls 1, you had Snuggly, and I don't know if there is something in Dark Souls 2. But so what we're going to do is we're going to leave a Homeward Bone. We want to do this separate, by the way. And what happens is you actually get some items for trading, and I got the iron bracelets. So it's a little worse in physical stats, but in the magic, fire, lightning, and dark department, way better. And we're also going to drop a firebomb. And this gives us a large titanite, which will be used for upgrading a weapon later. And then an Estus shard. That is the item that is most important. So you think we're done here, but in fact, there is an illusionary wall. And we could come over here and get a really good ring. Basically, it's useful in throughout the whole game. I wouldn't recommend using it all the time, but for early game, definitely useful. This is the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring, and what that does is it increases our soul output, but I think we gain 10% more souls from enemies. Now that's all we have for up here. And I'm going to show you guys one last thing before we head on into the next area. But I'm going to go heal up because I took some extra damage. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take that Estus shard and I'm going to upgrade our Estus flask. And what that means is instead of having 4 charges, I now have 5 the next time I rest at a bonfire. So there's 4, or you start off with 3, 1 from your Ashen Estus flask, and 1 from up there, and there's 10 more Estus shards throughout the whole game. Now I'm going to show you if you guys want a really good early game weapon, and if you plan on using dex weapons, to come over here. But this is going to take a bit of time, I'll say. It's going to be a pain in the butt. And actually, first I'm going to kill these guys. Just because I want that item over there. I don't know what it is, but I want it. I think it may just be souls. Oh, an ember. So that allows you to get embered. And actually, if you're low on health and you pop an ember when you're not embered, it restores you to full health. So this guy is no joke. He will kill you. So I'm going to show you a quick little cheese way to kill him. Hopefully this works. So 2-hand your shield. Well, you want to take your shield and just, oh. Okay, this guy is no joke. And you see I'm building some sort of bar. Alright. Yee. Yeah, this guy is no joke. Woo! I would not recommend trying to fight him the normal way until much later on. Oh, and he just, that was what happens if you parry someone. That was dumb of me. I thought I was two-handing my shield. Oh, I'm gonna die here. Alright, one last heal. I'm trying. Oh yeah, we're gonna die here. So, I'm going to just run away and try and get back into the Firelink. I will come back and I will cut to a successful attempt of killing this guy. He's no joke, but the reward, it's definitely worth it. So I'll see you guys in 1 second. No. Oh, do I not get the kick? Yeah, okay. So if you're two-handing your shield, you don't get a kick, but that's alright. Hey, we finally killed him. Alright, that was a little too close for comfort, so we're going to wait till we see that we got his souls. So we got 2,200 for that. We're going to come up here, and we actually didn't get any items from him. But instead, we're going to quit out of the game, and what that does is actually resets where his drop, or should be if he falls off. That's the easiest way to kill him early on, and there's actually benefits to killing him early on, not just for the weapon, for later in the game. And I think, actually, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think later too, but it doesn't matter. So what we get here is some armor, which actually is alright. But we get the Uchi Katana. And as you saw when he was hitting me, I was developing a bar that when it reaches full, I get inflicted a status called Bleed. And what Bleed does is it deals a ridiculous amount of damage all at once. And it's just so good. I recommend the Uchi Katana. It's a great dexterity weapon. Later, I'm going to show some items you can use with it, and it's a phenomenal weapon. It'll carry you throughout the whole game, no problem. It's great. It was great in Dark Souls 1. I'm using it in Dark Souls 2 right now. And Dark Souls 3, it's not as great as Dark Souls 1, because Dark Souls 1, it was ridiculous. But you will not be disappointed in using it. So before we actually go to the next area, I'm going to just quickly put some fire on this spear, as we saw I could infuse earlier, because I'm not really going to use the spear much longer after too far into this game, if that makes any sense. English bad. Oh, God. Let's see. So I'm going to see if there's anything else I need to buy. White soapstones, that's if you want to be summoned by someone. And if you want to, like, buy some sorcery stuff, you can buy some sorceries, miracles, shields, which are alright, and some more armor. You can buy a short sword, scimitar. I don't recommend any of that. The only things I recommend you buy is what I showed you earlier. Repair powder is useless. The embers, you should always buy them if you have enough souls. And this is the tower key that you would use instead of using the tree. But there are benefits to buying that key, which we will get to later. And I'm going to see if I can level up one more time.
Very well then.
Oh, I'm literally 3 souls away. Let me see, do I have anything I can pop? No. What I'm going to do is just sell... Yup! That's exactly how much I needed. That's funny. What are the odds? What you want to do is find a good balance of vigor, and depending on your weapon, that's where you have to figure out what you want a good balance with. I'm going to keep putting into dexterity as of now for that little extra damage. Actually, did that remove my scaling on the weapon? I should actually check that. It did! So, I lost the scaling on the weapon, but I get extra fire damage with this weapon. And with that, let's go to the next area of the game, the High Wall of Lothric. And with this, we have reached the High Wall of Lothric. So I think I'm going to stop the episode right here, guys. This is kind of longer than I wanted it to be. I wanted to have these episodes be around 15-20 minutes. But I'm just kind of winging this. So if each episode ends up like 30 minutes, that isn't too bad with me. But alright, guys, I'll see you on the next episode. And like the video if you liked it, and feel free to subscribe. See you next time.